The leader of the House of Commons told BBC World at 1 she believed President Tusk's comments were unacceptable and disgraceful. Ms Leadsom argued the European Council President proved the Brexit vote was legitimised by unelected EU leaders like himself being spiteful towards the UK. The Tory MP called on Mr Tusk to apologise. She said, "I think the issue of Brexit has aroused some concerns among many people, but I think what he has said is pretty unacceptable and pretty disgraceful, and I'm sure when he reflects on it he may wish he hadn't done it. It's completely unacceptable. This is a negotiation between friends, allies, neighbours. It's supposed to be collegiate and collaborative, and it totally demeans him to stoop to such a spiteful tweet." Frankly, Brexit News. Donald Tusk's comments were disgraceful, claims Andrea Leadsom. Image Getty. All he has done is to reaffirm that we do not need presidents who are unelected make such remarks. Andrea Leadsom asked whether she agrees his point was to highlight that those who advocated Brexit did not have a plan before the referendum. She replied, "No. If you look at what he says there's a special place in hell reserved for those who advocated Brexit. Without sketching out a plan, we had a referendum. We asked the country what they wanted to do. I personally, passionately believe that the UK's future outside of the EU is so much better than within it, and Donald Tusk as a president that nobody in this country voted for. All he has done is to reaffirm my absolute belief that we do not need presidents who are unelected make such remarks." Mr Tusk's comments came as he repeated the EU's insistence that the withdrawal agreement reached with Theresa May last year cannot be reopened to remove the backstop arrangement for the Irish border. He was speaking alongside Irish Taoiseach Leo Varadkar following talks in Brussels in which they discussed preparations for what Mr Tusk described as the fiasco of a no-deal Brexit. On March 29, Taoiseach Leo Varadkar, while smiling and shaking hands, told Mr Tusk after his speech, "They will give you terrible trouble," before walking off stage. Donald Tusk has remained adamant that Brexit talks will not be reopening despite increasing support from EU political leaders like Angela Merkel, who have suggested that some compromises can be made on the EU's side for the UK.